country and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flag.
What's going on, Patriots? Back with another Patriots Prayer reaction for you. And this time I have to give a little shout out here to Me Again 72. Now, I posted a video the other day. I looked at the comments. I always look through all my comments, guys. I try to make sure you know that I actually give a damn about what people write in the comment section down here. And I will reply to, like, whatever it is. You know, I'll make sure you know you're noticed, for real. But Me Again 72 requested this song called Your America. And I didn't know about this song because I knew about the Brave album, right? And I knew there were a few songs on there. I heard American Flags and all that, which really jumped out and grabbed me. I use it for the intro for my podcast because it speaks exactly to the heart of the situation that I'm trying to bring a lot of light to, which is people need to stand up and take their country back. But, you know, this song I didn't know about because as they explained to me that Adam Calhoun was posting songs on his YouTube versus Tom's on his, and they were trading off like that. So I didn't know. So there's more music that I didn't know about that's out there. And, you know, with me, you know, a late bloomer, just getting into a lot of this right here and spending a lot of time on the podcast. I don't really get a lot of time to enjoy stuff like this because this is fun to me. This is absolutely, I have so much fun doing this. And a lot of the other guys that help me out with the podcast, all of which want to remain off camera, but they freeze up in front of the camera. It's so funny. But, you know, they have a lot of fun and tell a lot of jokes and we, you know, after the fact, going through the footage. So it's fun all the way around for the whole crew, guys, and we really do enjoy it. But I'm glad that I get to hear a lot of these things for the first time, and you get to hear, you know, you get to see me hear them for the first time. So this one is called Your America by Tom and Adam. And not only that, the person who, Me Again 72, said that I should react to this, said that essentially that it says it all, more or less. Okay, well, we're getting ready to find out because that's a lot right there, right? So, but it's Tom, so who knows what the hell he's gonna say? Let's check it out. With no further ado, let's jump right into it. Hey guys, but before I do though, do me a favor. If you like what you hear, I'm trying to break through that algorithm, hog family. So do me a favor, give me that like, follow, subscribe. I really need that. I'm trying to. Right now, we're just under 1,000. I'm trying to crack that 1,000. Then I'm going to try to crack that 5,000. But what you can't see right back here is I have a bottle of 30-year-old scotch sitting behind me. And it was a gift from somebody a long time ago. And I've been looking for a reason to actually crack the top of that thing and taste it. And I'm gonna tell you the only way that I'm gonna do that. The only way that I'll do that is I got to get 100,000 subscription. That's it. That's my goal. That's what it is right there. When I get 100,000 subscribers, I will crack the top of that thing, and I will have a glass of scotch. And I can't wait, to be honest. Like I said, I've been waiting for an excuse to do it, but it's got to be a good excuse because, boy, that's an expensive bottle of scotch. So, with no further ado, let's jump right into it. Adam Calhoun, Tom MacDonald, Your America. Here we go.
They're screaming that they hate America and we're the reason. If you don't feel safe, then stop defunding the policemen.
Hey, why does he got to come right out the gate? Boom. Here, let me start that again.
They're screaming that they hate America and we're the reason. If you don't feel safe, then stop defunding the policemen. You calling us extremists because our words have hurt your feelings. Then we're sorry we can't hear you over the sound of our freedom. Y'all.
You know what? He's 100% right, like most of the time. But isn't that the truth, right? They got these places in college. And where I'm actually planning on ambushing one of these places. I'm gonna say it on here because I don't give a damn. But what we're gonna do is I'm literally gonna go onto university grounds, and I'm gonna walk into. I was looking for my Bible. It's in the living room. I was gonna walk into the safe place that they little deemed safe places, and I was gonna walk in there and sit in the corner with my Bible in their safe place. But I'm also gonna be wearing a yarmulke. So I want to see if safe places are really safe places, right? Because I've seen other people try this, and they're not. They're not. These places they call safe places are safe for people who are Marxists, for people from the LGBTQ community, for people who belong to a certain segment of the population. That it is intolerant, it's judgmental, and dismissive. It disfranchises anyone who doesn't think, feel, or believe the way those people do. But they call it a safe place. The biggest hypocrites you will ever find on the face of the earth are the political left. 1,000%. Let's get back to Tom.
America, and we're the reason. If you don't feel safe, then stop defunding the policemen. You calling us extremists because our words have hurt your feelings, and we're sorry we can't hear you over the sound of our freedom. Y'all been filling up our classrooms with drag queens for kids. We think it's not appropriate, you tell us that it is. The complexities of gender and children won't ever mix when...
That's great. I didn't mean to talk over him. I was hitting my space bar and it wasn't working. But anyway, yeah, I mean, listen. The moment that I can take my Bible into a classroom, first, second, third grade, and sit down and explain to a child anything at all about Christ, is the day that I think that it's okay that, well, I take that back because I still don't think it's okay, period. But but at least I would say that, you know, it would be at least on a level playing field of people that say that it's okay for a drag queen to go inside of a classroom and read to your children. You know, people don't understand what that really is. I mean, that would be tantamount to the strip club letting out and having career day at the elementary school. Think about that for a second. Think about what this community really is. Now, I'm not talking about whether you disagree, agree, or what any of that. I'm just literally talking about what this community is really made up of. It's people who put on women's clothings and wigs and do makeup and things like that, and they usually go and they perform and they do these types of things. This is not appropriate for a child that doesn't understand sexuality at all. They're in that phase of their life where they're trying to understand the world, when most of the people who even adhere to this ideology realize that they went through some harsh things growing up to be able to embrace that identity of that's who they are. Some of them went to therapy. So to put that kind of stuff onto a child and label it normal, when most of the people who even adhere to that principle, those principles and those ideologies, didn't even think it was normal for them early on. That's a problem. That is a big problem. Now, as a Christian, I promise you that I don't hate anyone. I promise you that I will absolutely pray for anybody that I think needs it. But at the end of the day, don't get between me and my children. Like, I'm like most parents. Don't do it. It's not going to end well. It's kids. People, you know, out of everything that has happened, all the divisiveness throughout the world and left-right paradigm and all that other craziness where right and wrong took a back seat to right and left. The one thing that we all kind of agreed on, we had common ground. We always had common ground. I got people in my family who are devout leftists. And yet Thanksgiving Day was still a great time and we were all under one roof. But you know, there were limits, there were lines, there was places you didn't go. And there were things that were sacred, and children were one of them. You just didn't do this. And this is where I think the left made their biggest mistake, was when they started targeting children with this ideology. I think that a child should be old enough to be able to understand somewhat of the world, and values need to be taught at home by mom and dad. And then once you get above a certain age, you can be then you could understand a little more of the culture of this particular ideology or this value system, and you may look at it from an outside looking in type of perspective. That doesn't mean you necessarily agree with it, but you get to a certain age where you can look at it with the idea of maybe you want to try to understand it. You can't do that when you're, in first grade. You can't do that in kindergarten. You can't do that. So this is grooming. Let's just call it what it is. Plain and simple.
You want for the sound of our freedom. Y'all been filling up our classrooms with drag queens for kids. We think it's not appropriate, you tell us that it is. The complexities of gender and children won't ever mix when there's school shootings by women whose pronouns are him, his.
I said this on the podcast. I said it a million times. I'll say it a million times more. This particular faction of our society, it makes up less than 1% of our society. Less than 1%. But within 1 year's time in Philadelphia and in Nashville, there were 2 mass shootings, both committed by people from this particular community. So you have less than 1% of people that identify this way. And then in that less than 1% of 350 million people in the United States, you have 2 mass shootings in 1 year, in a 1 year's span, both committed by people from that community. And then that the document that leaked, because we're not allowed to talk about that document, but you know the one that I'm talking about. And you know what the document said. There were people of a certain skin tone that people from that person, that individual, said that they were targeting. And then my take on that is just this. What it did with that document being made public has shown is that maybe there's something going on an emotional, mental level that person needed to seek help with. And that Marxist ideology that has been embedded societally in the United States now, that this person adhered to, drove them there. So there's not just like one particular thing that you can blame. There's a whole bunch of things to blame, and blame also comes from people above in the medical community, the people in learned positions, people in government positions of authority that continually took someone who was obviously mentally and emotionally disturbed, who was going through something, and told them, hey, you're perfectly normal. And not only are you perfectly normal, anyone who tells you that you're not perfectly normal is evil. And that was the battery they put in this individual's back that drove that person to go do what they did. Because it's not one of tolerance. That battery was not one of acceptance. That battery was not one of love. Because how the hell can you shoot an 8-year-old little girl and then tell me it was that person did it because they were protecting themselves or out of love? No, the person was disturbed. There was a problem with this individual. And the bigger problem with the individual is that the people who could have told the individual that they had a problem didn't, because they exacerbate the condition by saying you have no condition.
Republican, but keep it 100, they making sense. The most destructive ideologies are coming from the left. I think Black Lives Matter. They think white lives shootings by...
Say it again. I need you to hear that again. Listen.
Of our freedom, y'all been filling up our classrooms with drag queens for kids. We think it's not appropriate, you tell us that it is. The complexities of gender and children won't ever mix when there's school shootings by women whose pronouns are him, his. I'm not Republican, but keep it 100, they making sense. The most destructive ideologies are coming from the left.
The most destructive ideologies are coming from the left. What did I just say? Their ideologies are not ones of tolerance. They're not ones of peace. They're not ones of love. They are ones of supremacy. That's what they argue for. You can break it down any way you want. At the end of the day, that if you don't think, feel, and believe like they do, then you don't matter and you need to get the hell out of the way, and they will mob you, cancel you, and do whatever else they need to do to get you out of the way. And a lot of social platforms, and I'm not going to say any of their names, you guys already know, a lot of social platforms, if you have a Christian perspective, if you have a perspective that is conservative, Christian, God-fearing, and you should happen to say that something that they do in their lifestyle or whatever else is wrong or immoral, that is seen as hate speech, and that is absolute BS. Because Our country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles. Whether or not you want to accept that, whether or not you're a God believer, that shouldn't matter. Whether or not you even believe in God shouldn't matter, because at the end of the day, what's going to end up happening here is that if no one believed in God at the foundation, at the offset of this country, if they didn't believe that God existed, you would never have the freedoms that you currently enjoy. You would have started out as a socialistic country or a monarch or a dictatorship, and everything that you made the United States great would have never happened if it wasn't for God. So there it is.
Think black lives matter, they think white lives matter less, and LGBTQ turned into WTF. Dear Democrats, I don't have nothing against the liberal, but the people representing you are communists and criminals. They've been
Hold up. I looked down for a second. Hold up.
white lives matter less, and LGBTQ turned into WTF.
Right.
Dear Democrats, I don't have nothing against the liberal, but the people representing you are communists and criminals. They've been
Exactly. Listen. I grew up with liberals. I grew up around liberals most of my whole life. Being from Baltimore City, a lot of liberals. Liberals are people who, they have a lot of things that they believe in and they stand for that I completely don't. That's a fact. But we also had common ground. Real liberals. Now, when I say, I'm not talking about leftists, I'm talking about liberals. And what I mean is this. Liberals believed in free speech. They believed in tolerance and acceptance. The problem with liberals is, from a Christian perspective, is they believed in over-acceptance. They believed in kind of a society of live and let live with no guardrails and no boundaries whatsoever, completely. And that was why I was like, okay, you guys lost me there. But the point, what I'm trying to make is that they actually, at least liberals, were tolerant. And it was a two-way street. These people that we see today, they're socialists, Democrat socialists, or people from the Democrat Socialist Party. And I don't have to name them. Go look them up, the squad. And you'll find out exactly what it is they really think, feel, and believe. And really what they're trying to do is upend and change the culture of what made the United States, our country, great. And you'll find that most of the things they're trying to do to upend our country are value systems they're taking from other countries to try to come here, when really, if you thought that other country's value system was so great and their system was so good, why the hell didn't you stay where you were? Because the idea is to come here. The idea is to change us from the inside out. It's an attack. It's just taking a different form. Do you think anybody, any other country in the entire world would attack the United States from the outside with weapons and troops and beat us? Hell no. But the ideology that has taken down all of these other countries has been one specific one, and you're looking at it being enacted right now in the United States. Socialism and Marxism. It's been tried a million times. All that happens are the people in power get more power, and the people in power get more rich, while the poor get much poorer, and thousands and thousands, if not millions, of people die. So, and if you don't believe that, go look for yourself. Unless you're one of those people that believe, no, all those other people did it wrong. But that's every time what everyone says about everything. They did it wrong. They didn't really have a true socialist. They did it wrong. It's never worked, and it's not going to work. That's simple. It disincentivizes people to work hard and try hard. That's what it does. It creates a class of people that basically deprive other people of their hard work so that they can be lazy. That's literally, that's one side of it. It's not everything about it, but that's literally one side of it. I'll continue.
Starting World War III, we shipping missiles still. They don't want America great, they want it miserable. You can try to burn down the city.
See, that's the other thing. I don't want to keep pausing. I'm sorry for all the pausing, but he's right. They don't want to make America great. Matter of fact, saying make America great again is offensive to these people. When was it ever great again? When was any country ever purely great with no sin? There's never been one, but I can tell you when America was great. I can tell you when we had a better society, a more moral society, a better moral fabric, a better moral compass than what we have right now, with more respect, where people actually respected the law, where the people that had badges actually enforced the law, where the people that were in office actually stood behind the people who wore those badges. I know of a time when America was going to war, when everybody wanted to be part of the war effort because we stood for something. We had a standard in the country. That's what. Don't get me started, because I'll be on here forever talking about. But that's the reality of it, people. Americans used to like to be American. And now this new culture, this new pervasive culture that comes in here is trying to tear down the thing that made us great. And what they're trying to do is destroy our history in the process and destroy our heritage in the process and make it trendy. Make it in style. Make it the thing to do. And then make you sound like you're the racist or you're the bigot if you stand against them while they're trying to tear what made you great down. And you're a coward if you let them.
They're coming from the left. I think black lives matter. They think white lives matter less. And LGBTQ turned into WTF. Dear Democrats, I don't have nothing against the liberal, but the people representing you are communists and criminals. They've been starting World War III with shipping missiles still. They don't want America great, they want it miserable. You can try to burn down the city, scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not your America.
Hey, I like the hook. I really like the hook. I like that mellow, like that melodic thing he's got going on. And what he said is true. You can try to cancel everything in it. You can do all those things he said, but he's right. It's not your America. The thing that made us great, the thing that established us, the freedoms that we enjoy, the Bill of Rights, the amendments, all of that, our Constitution, and the close adherence to that, as close as you possibly can. The republic, not the democracy. Learn the difference. It's not mob rule. So we need to remember that, because if not, people will come in and unteach us who we are. Because you can go to college and come out smart as a dumb mother. You understand what I'm saying? So don't fall for it. Don't fall for it at all. We live in the greatest country on planet Earth, the greatest country that has ever existed, ever, and planet Earth in history. And yet you're letting some people come into your country that are not even from your country. And the ideology that the ones from your country are pushing is also not from your country. It's from people from the outside that are starting foundations and funding these types of radical groups in our country to create such sedition within the ranks of colleges, in our government, and everywhere else, so that they can take the greatest society that's ever existed and make it collapse. And people, they've made a dent. Don't fool yourself. They made a dent. And the funny thing is they got the people from this country brainwashed into helping them do it.
You can burn the flag, get aggressive. You can wear a mask and pretend you're progressive. I got my First Amendment, don't forget I got the second. It's not your America. I'm hearing words I never heard in life. Kids go to school to learn, never make it back home, they get murdered like. Who's concerned? Not the left or the right. Hope you're ready for the fight. Coming to your front door tonight. The former president got arrested. The current one lost, but I guess he got elected.
I can't talk about that. That's one of the banned subjects, right? But I'll do a quick moment of silence for what I can't say. You fill in the blanks. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I mean, Adam goes right to the heart of every matter. Hey, he's like a bull in a damn china shop, and he's like, yeah, I got the First Amendment, but don't forget I got the Second. And what'd he say here? Hold on a second.
Who's concerned? Not the left or the right. Hope you're ready for the fight. Coming to your front door tonight. The former president got arrested.
So that's the other part I wanted to touch on. The former president got arrested, right? And don't forget, free speech, all that. And what happened? One of the most dangerous things that ever happened was they kicked him off of Twitter. So they kicked him off of Twitter. They have been persecuting and prosecuting him from day one, inventing charges, and by putting this one to this one and connecting the dots here and trying to do anything and everything they can to tear this man down. And what you need to know is this simple. This man is a man of means. He became poorer. He is one of the only people that has ever became president of the United States in history and became poorer to do it. He lost money. The current case that he's fighting right now with this judge, the one that looks like the father from Alf. I'm dating myself, but yeah, I mean, they're trying to say that his property was worth a lot less than what it was when he went up and applied for the loan. Well, do yourself a favor. Go look on Zillow or any place that gives the worth of properties, right? Go look at Mar-a-Lago and look not far away from it on dirt. I mean, places where there's no property, just dirt lots. And they're not even as large as Mar-a-Lago, not far from it. You'll find dirt lots worth more than what they tried to value Mar-a-Lago at. And the judge is unwilling to hear the people that are trying to come in to correct this. He's not even listening to them. And not only that, he put a gag order on Trump so that he can't talk about it outside of the courtroom. Why? Because he's being railroaded, people. That's my opinion. My opinion. Let me put that out there as the exclaimer first, right? But, I mean, come on. Come on. Be real. Just go look at Zillow. Go do your own research. Go look. They try to say his property's worth $18 million. Well, go look at a dirt lot that less than 2 miles away from where he's at. And look, see how much the dirt lot's worth. It's worth more than $18 million. Take a look.
The current one lost, but I guess he got elected. Kids get molested, pedophiles all get protected, and you can kill a baby anytime if you pregnant.
That's crazy. See, this is what I mean. They upend our morals. They attack our values. But at any point in time where we turn around and if we would turn around and say our value system, the one that's taught in our Bible, our Judeo-Christian Bible, by saying we think that killing a baby in the womb is murder. If we were to say that, which I just said, but I'm just giving you the Christian point of view, right? So if you were to say that, then they try to call it hate speech. So they create a system of values that you're not even allowed to dissent to, because your dissent it comes across as hate, where theirs comes across as freedom. It's so backwards. It is so backwards.
Got arrested, the current one lost, but I guess he got elected. Kids get molested, pedophiles all get protected.
So that's the other thing he says. So kids get molested, pedophiles all get protected. So it seems to me today that the term crazy no longer applies to anything. Anytime anybody has something wrong with them or they do something, a psychologist gets called in or some studies done, and then they give it some name, based on the psychology of the situation. And then once it has a name, then all of a sudden, the name of that psychosis, whatever it may be, then becomes the defense for the person who committed the offense. And then they walk or they get off. Like, they're trying to literally change the term child molester into minor attracted persons. Now, come on, man. Where the hell is the line in the sand, people? Where's the morality line? Because, it used to be here. Now it's here. Now it's here. Now it's where? It's non-existent. It's non-existent. Where do you draw the line?
And you can kill a baby anytime if you pregnant. People so weak, feel free to take a knee. And you can't even speak, God forbid you disagree. I don't even know what virtual signaling means. Young men used to fight wars, now they make memes. Divide us up, I'm pretty sure that's the plan. Got a gun in my hand for when shit hits the fan. And how the woman of the year is a man, I'm pretty sure I never really understand.
I can't talk about that either. Hey, me again 72. You didn't tell me he had all these topics in here I can't talk about. But, he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. Look at Miss Universe for Nevada. Look at Miss Universe for Netherlands. Take a look.
This up, I'm pretty sure that's the plan. Got a gun in my hand for when shit hits the fan. And how the woman of the year is a man. I'm pretty sure I never really understand.
You can try to burn down the city, scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not your America.
You can burn the flag, get aggressive. You can wear a mask and pretend you're progressive. I got my First Amendment, don't forget I got the second. It's not.
He said you can wear. I didn't get it the first time when he said it, but he said you can wear a flag, wear a mask, and pretend that you're progressive. You know how many people put those things on just so that they could be seen as part of a group? Hey, look, guys, I believe what you believe too. Look, I have my mask on. I'm driving in the car all by myself down the street, and I still have it on.
Your America. You told us we're the ones to blame. You're the ones who riot till the city's up in flames. You told us we've been spreading lies, but you believe the truth is on the news every night. You told us we gotta stop the fighting, but you're the ones who keep the country angry and divided. You told us we're crazier than you, but all of our conspiracy theories are coming true. You can try to burn down the city, scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not your America.
You can burn the flag, get aggressive. You can wear a mask and pretend you're progressive. I got my First Amendment, don't forget I got the second. It's not
your America.
Hey, me again 72, you did your thing on this one. This is going on the playlist. I promise you this is going on my playlist. It's not your America. Woo! I love it. Hey, listen. There wasn't a topic that he didn't talk at directly in here, so much so that there was some subject matter in here that I could not even comment on. And that's just the reality of it. And that's the sad part of it, too. Because I would come at those subjects that I really couldn't go in on the way that I wanted to. Because the video wouldn't be seen. It would be suppressed. I'm not allowed to have that Christian perspective and to be affirming as I do it. I have to give the illusion of impartiality, which means I'm not necessarily allowed to take a stance on certain things to the point of being absolute about it when I give an opinion. Or when I can't be absolute when I give an opinion, but absolute when I tell you something is wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So when I make when I make my voice heard, I'm not allowed to dissent to that level. And because if I do, we're not allowed. We're just not allowed. And I've talked to people that are in office. I talk to people running for office, and it's the same request I make to each and every one of them, and it's the same request I make to you. And this might make the video not seen too, but we'll see. Section 230 gives the social media companies, all of them, the right to discriminate by deeming something you say should not be heard by the masses. But the thing is that if you are a public company, you're not a private company, you're a public company, a publicly traded company, this shouldn't apply. You know, we are America, and we do have a First Amendment, and that needs to change. The law needs to be amended. The law was there to make sure if someone posted something on somebody else's message board that they couldn't be sued for what someone else wrote. All right, that doesn't apply anymore. So the idea that they're able to silence people for what they call misinformation, which turned out a lot of the times to be not true, it was just people that had the opposite ideology or didn't go along with the pervasive narrative. We saw that in the Twitter files. So this type of stuff needs to be stopped by law. It should not be allowed to happen. But guys, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos. As a matter of fact, there's about 4 other suggestions from you guys that I'm going to get to probably today. I think I'll just knock them out. I'm having fun doing it, so why not? But me again, 72. Appreciate this one. You knocked it out of the park with this one. So guys, as usual, the silent majority, you need to stop being silent and stand your ground. We'll see you next time on the Patriots Prayer. You guys have a great day.
And we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts.